Story time.
Hello, this is Chris Hanbury. Welcome to the first episode of Squash Talk. Squash Talk is not replacing the podcast, so the podcast is still going to go on. That's going to be when I interview other coaches, trying to get some tips. Those will be a little bit longer. These are going to be short snippets of things that I've learned because I'm currently locked out of the club, and I'm sure a lot of you guys don't have access to courts right now. But I still think I can produce some content that will give you guys some good feedback and information, things to think about when you get back to the squash court. Maybe some things you can even do right now. Today I just want to quickly touch on solo hitting. Obviously, if you followed me, you know that I've posted I don't know how many hundreds of solo drills. I did a lot of solo hitting in my career, and very early on when I was young, I just thought, oh, if I just play more and I get out there and just hit the ball, I'm going to get better. And I was kind of in a small rural outside of Toronto neighborhood, so there wasn't always a lot of people at the club to play with. And I remember back then I basically thought the quantity of how much I solo hit was going to make me better. So I would just get out there and just hit the ball, and then I'd have a journal. I'd be like, oh, I solo hit 2 hours a day, or 3 hours, sometimes 4 hours. Like, it was just obviously overdoing it and not really having any guidance of what to do. But now, I'm older, I've been coaching, I've been around the game a lot longer. I have a few tips to improve your solo hitting, if that is something that you want to get into, or if you're already doing it. So I have 4 tips that I think will really be helpful. So I think the first one is deciding how much time you actually want to spend on court when you're going solo hitting. Don't just say, oh, I'm going to go out there until I get bored or fatigued. I think it's much better to do 20 minutes of focused and purposeful solo hitting than it is to just go and just hit as long as the court's available. I think you start to daydream, you get flat-footed, kind of lazy. Sometimes that's actually going to make you worse. I know it doesn't sound like it, but it's really the quality of those hours. So really set as a timeline, either 30 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, an hour, whatever, and stick to that timeline. Think about what you want to work on ahead of time. Don't just go in there and be like, okay, here I am. Actually think about, okay, today I want to go work on this and that. I'm going to go maybe work on something in my technique that my coach was helping me with. That's going to make the most of that time. So that's what deliberate practice is. It's actually being more engaged in what you're doing instead of just you're there and showing up. So that'd be tip number 2. Number 3 is to do a variety of drills. Don't just go and only work on length, or only do work on nicks or short game. When I was a kid, I remember all the time just practicing nicks, going for nicks, and obviously you have to have some variety. So always try to use a variety of drills, whether it's length, mid-court, some volleys, short game. So I would always recommend always trying to work on all those areas, even if there is one area that's kind of most important you want to work on. Just make sure you still always sprinkle in some of the other areas as well. And the last one is going to be just set some specific targets and goals that you can monitor yourself and see yourself improving. So you're kind of getting more confident that your skill level and your skill set's improving, and you're not out there just it's hard. Once you get to a certain level, you improve quickly, and then it kind of goes very slowly. And sometimes you're like, I don't know if I'm really getting any better. But if you can actually go and how many targets can you hit, how many of this drill can you do in a certain amount of time, or whatever, I think that's going to allow you to really get the most out of your solo sessions. And it kind of keeps you motivated because you keep trying to set new best. You kind of make it like a little game, and I think once you keep getting better at those skill sets, that really makes a big difference when you get out onto the squash court. So I hope you enjoyed this. I have lots of other ideas for short little snippets and give you guys some tips. And I'm only going to post this on the YouTube Serious Squash channel, so make sure you come and subscribe. And I'm not sure when I'll do the next episode, but sometime probably later this week, because I don't have a lot else to do. If you have any suggestions on topics you'd like me to discuss, just comment below, and if I have some experience with it and I think I have some useful information, I will probably get to it. So until episode 2, I hope you enjoyed this first episode of what did I call it? Story time? Yeah, I don't know, it just random, but hopefully you like that introduction, and we'll see. Maybe I'll tweak that too.